And we're back. Stevie B, The Matrix, Boston. Y'all know what it is. We're back with the analysis of the Patriots preseason game number 2 last night. It's been a couple of weeks. Been regrouping after the NBA season. But I'm telling you, we're moving into, y'all know, my number one sport. We're rocking the Boston. RIP to the season last year because I wasn't able to really throw out nothing at the end of the NBA season, but we're rocking into the NFL season and we're just going at everything fresh. Okay? The Patriots, we all know what the competition is there. It's Cam Newton, Mac Jones, or should I say lack thereof a competition. This entire time we've been talking about, what's going to happen? The Patriots are not sticking a rookie quarterback out there on the field game 1. Otherwise, there'd be no reason to have Cam Newton. You could use any old backup you had just to get by for a couple of games. So if you ask me, they have no intention on putting Mac Jones in for the entire season. But let's just stop there. And I don't mean for the entire season. He'll play blowout games. He'll play some second halves, and I'd like to see it. But judging off of last night's game, the team looked a step better than the game before even. And that's what you want to see in terms of preparation for the regular season. You want to see the team look a little more crisp than the last game. You want to see the quarterbacks look a little more crisp, commanding the offense than the last game. And you also have to factor in competition. Now, there's a lot of comments on the internet where people are talking about, and usually that's the excuses people make to not give credit where credit's due. It's a preseason game, so let's just start there. Nothing to be exaggerated. But Cam Newton came out. They played some of the starters. I saw Aguilar for the first time. Jacoby Myers continues to be his favorite target. Both the tight ends did not play. So Jonnu Smith did not play. No, I'm not Jonnu Smith. That's Jesus. Jonnu and Hunter, both of them didn't play. Okay, so anyone want to say, they played against the Eagles' second and third strings? Okay, if that's what you want to say, it's a preseason game. That's beautiful. It doesn't make it any excuse for you to get completely blown the fuck out in the second half when our second and third string players are in. So, again, the Eagles have a ton of problems, clearly. And that goes without saying as they got blown out 35-0. But, where we normally discount preseason games from should we take it seriously? I'm going to take this one for what it was. The Eagles look terrible, and the Patriots look like they got better than they got better. They're better than they were the previous game. And just improving upon a team aspect. They're loaded with running backs. Harris last year, especially with Michelle going down, had solidified himself as the number 1 back. And I like what I see. He seems leaner. He seems a little quicker while still maintaining his size and power. I like what I see out of Harris. Sony Michel catching passes out of the backfield, which I had stated the previous year or so. Like, the man can catch out the backfield and was not being utilized enough that way. Not by Brady and Brady's final couple of years here, because I think we've had Sony about 4 years now. That sounds about right. But the team's loaded with running backs. James White is still James White. And the new guy, Stevenson, who they got, looks to be pretty good himself. So they got a few backs, some of which could easily play, are going to play special teams, I believe. Stevenson especially, I believe, will be. He's wearing 38, and last I checked, that was Bolden's number, which leads me to believe Bolden's off the roster. And again, he's been here for some years. I wouldn't be surprised if he, left the game for good, or if he, I don't know the exact. I got to look into that and see what actually happened to Bolden. But 38 was Bolden's number, and you see Stevenson rocking that number now. So don't be surprised to see Stevenson play some special teams. Same way Bolden did. I can see him taking over the role Bolden had occupied over the past few years, over the past 5+ years. A running back when necessary, when the depth chart, when there's injuries and we need one on the depth chart. But, he got slower over the years. But a special teams consistency, a consistent special teams piece and tough-nosed player. I see Stevenson potentially being that. But other than that, I like what I saw out of Cam. Cam's moving in the pocket is what amazed me the most. But again, the upgrades on the offensive line, the time together, the health. Cam was moving in that pocket with his eyes downfield, feeling things in a way that I don't think he's ever been given credit for, because far too often that first move up in the pocket would come with a run 50% of the time. And he was making several slides up sideways in that pocket and kept his eyes downfield, and it's been stated already since the last game, we see the ball jumping out of his hand. So I'm excited for that. Cam looks healthy. I love his movement in the pocket, because it's just, to me, if Cam can maintain that type of presence in the pocket, it's over. It is ridiculous the things he can do. He won't be forced to stand 5 to 7 yards back at all times, the way he had to, and was succeeding doing so because of his big arm. But it really doesn't bode well for you as a quarterback and your offensive line if you can't step up and take advantage of the pocket that they create for you. So kudos to him on that one. I love the improvement, and I hope that remains a consistency. I believe he went 8 of 9. Bravo. That's all we need. Cam's going to be able to make big throws. It's just get the ball out and get it to somebody. Move in that pocket. And I don't think he ran the ball once. I don't think he did. The defense, you can already see what Matthew Judon brings to the table. And Mills was in that game as well. You add that to Kyle Duggar. You add that to the veterans that you already have in Van Noy coming back, and Hightower and McCourty. You add that to J.C. Jackson. You add that to Stephon Gilmore. You add that to I believe Chase Winovich. You add that to who you got on the interior with Wise. I like what I saw. Their front seven, it can be scary, dangerous especially when you consider what J.C. Jackson developed into, was essentially since he's been drafted and now is recognized as what Stephon Gilmore is capable of, and what a few of those other guys back there have shown in terms of their third and fourth corner. They have depth, the ability to cover man press coverage all game, the ability for you have one of the most veteran safeties in the league. One of the best safeties over the past 10 years in McCourty. Let's just hope his legs are still underneath him a little bit. And Duggar coming up as a potential playmaker. But to see Judon and what he's doing from that outside linebacker / defensive end position is amazing. It adds a whole nother dimension to this defense. It changes the game when you have guys like Hightower, who is an amazing blitzer. You got guys like Van Noy on the other side of the line who are going to benefit from this. Your defensive tackles are going to benefit from this. Bentley, other linebackers that you're incorporating who showed promise last year, they're deep. And it's a significant difference with Judon out there. You can just see it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the defense come out game 1, series 1, and what that looks like. It's going to be cool. All right. Given that there's only 3 preseason games, we don't know whether Cam's going to play the next game, but he was solid. It was what I needed to see. And as far as Mac Jones, the opposite of Cam spelled backwards, he is just that. Ball out quickly. Didn't even need, he's showing the ability to slide up into the pocket, but more importantly, he's getting the ball out quickly. They're setting up plays where it's like, this is your read, make that read and make that throw. Okay, and he's making the throws, whether they're short, he's attempting a few long ones. Almost had a nice catch there by N'Keal Harry, who really needed to catch that ball. If you notice, he's down the depth chart a little bit now. When you have Jacoby Myers ahead of you, you have Aguilar, Bourne. You got a few guys ahead of you on the depth chart. You are now the fourth receiver at best. And I don't know what to say, but it's what happens. It's what happens. I know the guy can catch the ball. I know he's big, but it's not translating to separation, and it's not translating to down the field catches. It's not translating to getting open consistently. You know, it's not translating to what will get you more playing time. So Mac Jones looked great again, 13 and 19 again, 140 plus yards. The running game tore it up again. And that's how they want to play. Now, if you're playing Mac Jones, that's what they're doing. They're playing the run game, counting on Mac to get the ball out of there quickly, and they can run an efficient offense. They can show Mac 4 or 5 guys. He's going to get the ball out. But that running game is giving him a sense of protection right now that they have to be on, that the other defenses have to be honest towards. So I can't wait to see what he looks like next game when they probably will play him the whole game. You know, I want to see if they can air it out, get him a few more deep throws, and see if some of these guys will catch it for him. But he looked good. I really don't appreciate anyone underselling Mac, saying, "Oh, he's not that great," or he looks really, really good. Okay, the man came out year one and is better looking than the veteran in Hoyer and the fucking guy you had drafted before him in Stidham. Game 1 and 2. Already looks like he knows what he's doing. Already looks like you can tailor an offense that you want around him, and he'll do what you need him to do at its best. Get rid of the ball. You know, get the ball to these backs. Get the ball to these guys. Read the field. Make the decision. And the line of scrimmage adjustments and things like that will come with all of that. So anyone wants to say anything about him, it's like he's already better than the guys that they had drafted, the guy that they drafted before him, and the backup who's been in the league for years. I mean, now granted, he's supposed to look like that, fine, whatever. But I'm really getting sick of hearing people talking about, he's not that great. The Patriots blew another pick. And again, there's just some pessimistic people that I know that choose to speak that way, okay? Those people aren't watching the game and just look at everything that way. Some people in this world are going to be so overwhelmingly pessimistic that they won't even look at the facts. They'll just find any reason to be right about their pessimism. It's preseason. Oh, no, they always suck. Oh, no, stop. He's playing good. Let's leave it at that. I'm going to say what he's doing until he's doing something other than that, okay? That is my analysis on the game last night, okay? The Eagles are trash. Because even when the Patriots' second and third and fourth string guys come into the game, you were getting waxed. The Eagles are trash. First team, second team, it really didn't matter. They were trash last night. And there's a lot to be said if Jalen Hurts didn't play, but the only difference is, if Jalen Hurts didn't play. That's fine. I'm saying, I mean, for his reps, for him getting reps, that's not a good look. But the team was going to look the same way. He's less experienced than Flacco. I don't expect him to have made as many completions or gotten as much going offensively as they did with Flacco, even though they really got nothing going. Flacco made some throws. Flacco made throws under the rest. Those would have been sacks, okay? Or Hurts would have tried to scramble, took his eyes off the downfield man, and I am not. You cannot convince me that game wouldn't have been worse had Jalen Hurts played. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's sick was an excuse for we're not prepared to play this team and we don't want to get him hurt. They were with us in practice throughout the week. You got blown out 35-0. You had team practices, which are essentially simulated games, from what I was told and from what is reported. The Eagles have a lot to worry about this shit. And that kid, that rookie receiver, he does not look like he's all that. He really doesn't. He's particularly undersized from a frame standpoint, so I don't see him as some big time, about to take over the league receiver. He might end up being their best guy, but what's that say about everybody else? He looked like a dude who played his first game, and he's about to play his second game going into the season without having practice with his supposed starting quarterback, or played in a game with his supposed starting quarterback, who is going to have to play. Jalen Hurts has to play next game. Otherwise, he'll have no rapport, or at least no time on the field with any of these guys. So that's my analysis on them, at least. But I'm not going to say too much about that game. I love the way Cam looked. I love the way Jacoby Myers is still one of the top 3 targets. He came into camp probably not knowing, based on the way they picked up Aguilar, they picked up Bourne, they picked up these tight ends, where he would be. But Cam and him have had a connection since Cam got here. He has been the guy that Cam has gone to, and you don't go to a guy that you can't rely on. Point blank, period. He gets open, he catches the ball, Cam can trust him. They seem to have some sort of rapport. And until that rapport develops more with Aguilar and Bourne, which, again, Bourne had a catch yesterday, a couple catches, they looked good. I trust that the Patriots will create some sort of offensive, mismatch with those 3 receivers, and one of them will always be open. Between Myers, Bourne, Aguilar, Smith, and Henry, you have 4 legit guys that Cam should have no problem getting the ball to. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing more Mac Jones. Right now, some would say it's pretty vanilla, because he looks the part, and it's just drop back and throw right now. Drop back and throw, drop back, throw, drop back, throw. Nothing looks overly complicated to him. He doesn't look overwhelmed, and maybe it's because of that we're over simplifying his impact, or what his what he looks like. So we're underselling it a little bit, oversimplifying it a little bit, but he looks good. And we'll end it on that. All right? Looking forward to a big year with Cam. If Cam can stay healthy, look out. Anyway, we'll go ahead and more in-depth throughout the year. We'll go in-depth throughout the week. We're going to get back to some NBA news in a second, talking about the off-season and things of that nature, picking up Dennis Schroeder, things of that nature. The Lakers, LeBron having to go get all the best super type of stars, otherwise he's not going to be able to, compete. Things like that. So, looking forward to a big season on the Matrix Sports Recap, Matrix Sports Coverage, Matrix NFL season. Let's get it.